Howdy pards, MrHolster here, back with another great gun. Today we're looking at the CZ75 P-07 Duty. 9mm, 16 round magazine. One in the chamber gives you 17 rounds. Just a fantastic gun. I have it set up here to carry cocked and locked. Yeah, use that safety and boom. And I'm doing that because the single action trigger pull on this is 3 pounds 4 ounces. What this gun is a single action double action where you can carry it cocked and locked. So the first shot, you just deploy your safety and pull the trigger, and a nice 3 pound 4 ounce crisp trigger pull. Or you can carry it with the decocking mechanism instead of the safety. Take the safety off and put in the decocking mechanism. That allows you to carry it like a conventional double action, single action. If you're familiar with the SIG P226 or the Beretta 92, that's what those are. And then the first trigger pull is a long double action trigger pull followed by a short, crisp 3 pound 4 ounce trigger. And of course, if you don't want to pull the trigger on that after that first shot, you have this decocker, which is not installed at the moment because I have the safety in. But you'd have this decocker, you just push it down and it'll automatically safely decock the firearm. There you go. Gives you two different types of guns in one. I happen to like to carry it cocked and locked because it's got a real long hard trigger pull and then a real light, not quite what I'm used to on a single action, double action. I'm used to carrying my SIG P220 or the old Walther P88, which the trigger pull on it is probably more around 5 to 6 pounds on the single action. So it doesn't seem like quite a jump. This one seems like quite a jump to me, so I was more comfortable carrying it this way, so it's more like a 1911. Just cocked and locked. You just take the safety off and that nice, clean, crisp trigger pull. There you go. Now, of course, being a single action, double action, it does have a longer reset than you'd have on a 1911 and a little more take up before that hammer falls than a 1911, but pretty much is operating like a 1911, and I like it. So there. Now, this is the original, the P-07 Duty. They do have the second gen out now, which is basically the identical gun, nothing different except for the enhancements. Yeah, they just made it better. This right here is an absolute fantastic gun. Hard to imagine they could make it better, but there are a few things they could improve, and they did. It's got polymer sights on it, and this sight, as you can see, is really pointed. I don't know what they're thinking there. Pointed, jagged end, which is not too conducive to concealed carry. You kind of hang up on it. Plus, it's hanging over the hammer there, and kind of hard to get to. Well, they improved that with the Gen 2 by putting iron sights on here and then a triangular shaped hammer, which gives you more purchase. A lot of companies are putting that triangular shaped hammer on it. My new SIG has one of those. It's very nice, gives you much easier to get your thumb on that to cock it. I have seen, though, on YouTube that some of the the new sights on the second gen, the metal sights have polymer inserts, and they tend to pop out of there after you shoot it for a while. So I don't know if it's an improvement or not. I think you probably end up like I will with this, is getting some nice night sights and putting them on. But just a fantastic gun. One reason I really like this gun is this big trigger guard here, because I live in a cold climate. And if I'm carrying this cocked and locked, look at all the space I have between the trigger and the trigger guard to put a finger in that's got a glove on it. Yeah, just a great gun to be able to shoot with a glove on. Fantastic. The gun is very accurate, as all CZs are. It's got the same features that a regular CZ has. We'll start with the most important one is the contour of that grip. Absolutely fantastic. The ergonomics of that to your hand. Yeah, they actually made it for a human being to hold instead of a gorilla or something. Wow, who would have thought of doing that? Yeah, it's got that same contour, just the most fantastic. If you've ever picked up a CZ, you'll know what I'm talking about. You just instantly go, wow, does that feel good in my hand? Yeah, it does. And the other thing it has going for it that all CZs do is it's got the slide rides inside of the frame. Yeah, you see that? The slide rails are inside the frame instead of outside the frame. Makes it a little bit thinner, but what it really does is it allows that barrel and the guide rod to sit lower in the frame. A lower bore axis gets it down lower in your hand, gets more felt recoil coming straight back, so it reduces the felt recoil an incredible amount, and it makes for more accurate shooting. Maybe not as much on this polymer one because you've got the guide rails just tabs here and tabs there like a Glock would be, but on a metal frame ZZ, be it aluminum or steel or stainless steel, it's got the guide rods running from all the way from front to back, and it just makes it so much more stable. Just makes it a fantastic shooter. But you know what? This gun is a fantastic shooter. This is an incredibly accurate gun, and I wish I could shoot as well as this gun can. If I could do my job, it would be unbelievably accurate. Just a great gun. I thought I'd share that with you today. I think the only thing I haven't touched on here is the mag release. Look at that mag release, and it's very positive. I think the way it's angled also helps. It is not one you're going to accidentally bump. It is an incredibly strong, positive mag release, but having said that, it has so much surface area to hit, and with that ergonomics on that grip frame, your thumb is right there. This is probably the best mag release of any gun I've ever had in my life, except for, well, some other CZs. But yeah, this is without a doubt the best mag release of any gun I've ever had. What a fantastic, fantastic gun. One more feature that I like, that I particularly like it because this is one of the things I like to do, is this raised area on the polymer frame right here that's like sandpaper and has some serrations. It's a fantastic place that I can put my finger, because I like to find a spot to put my finger when my finger's not on the trigger, when I'm not shooting, that I can really torsion my torsion my finger against. And what that does, if somebody were to try and grab this gun from me, it gives me so much more leverage to get the gun out of their hand. And it also, with that, it almost hurts there with that sandpaper, digging into my finger. It gives me such a tensioned area. One of the things that lots of times police officers have accidentally popped one off because this reflex action, and I won't limit it to them. I always say police officers because I'm old, and back in the day, about the only people carrying guns were police officers. Before you had shall issue states. So that's probably why I'm saying that. But at any rate, what happens is someone startles you, attacks you, comes up from behind. You have a tendency to react, reflexive instincts of clenching up, and there, where my finger go? It went on the trigger. And you see what I'm talking about? Which is another reason I like carrying this cocked and locked, because if it did happen, that's what you'd have. But still, that's one of the reasons I like doing that. And I like the fact they put that area there for me to do it. Yeah, that is incredibly nice. And I don't know how many other companies, I can't even think of who else is doing it. You know, maybe you might chime in if you know, think of another manufacturer that's doing something like that. My Glocks, I've got that slide release I dig into. It's nicely positioned for that, but you know, that's not really made for it. This is made for it. Well done, well thought out. There you go. I think I covered everything. Hey! Yeah, and the 16-round magazine instead of the current model with 15, but I'm having trouble getting 16 rounds in this. I only load in 15. It's very tough, and that may be why they went to 15 round on the new gen, the second gen. Fantastic, fantastic gun. Thought I'd share that with you today. I'll leave you with some footage of me shooting it, and that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Till next time, go out, stay safe. Woohoo! Well, it looks like it's more accurate than I am.